Happy almost Halloween! It's Lluvia and Voldemort, and I'm here to give you some Halloween movie recommendations to get you into the spooky spirit. Now, I just want to throw a disclaimer out there before I start that I do not like slasher flicks, so you're not going to find that on my list. And I don't really like getting scared. So you're not going to find like anything like too scary on my list. But that doesn't mean that the films I chose aren't going to get you into the spooky spirit. There are still horror elements, spooky elements in the films that I have chosen. And ultimately, they get me in the spooky spirit, and I'm sure they'll get you in the spooky spirit. So, let's go ahead and get started. Starting off, I'm recommending Frankenweenie. So, Frankenweenie is a black and white animated Tim Burton film. I actually think it is my favorite Tim Burton film, and I actually think that it is unfairly overshadowed by Nightmare Before Christmas a lot of the time. I understand that Nightmare Before Christmas is super popular, but don't forget that Frankenweenie exists because I think it's really good. Next up on the list is Get Out. So Get Out is only a few years old. It came out in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. It is written and directed by Jordan Peele. And I remember that when the film initially came out, people were like kind of giving it the side eye because, you know, Jordan Peele is known for Key and Peele. So it was like, does this man who knows comedy know anything about horror? And I think he definitely proved them wrong. The film is about a black man who is on his way to meet his white girlfriend's family for the first time. And there is this excellent commentary about racism in the film, and it just gets spookier and spookier as the film goes on. So, highly recommend that. Next up on the list is Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is a classic. I think most everyone has seen Hocus Pocus, and if you haven't, that's okay. Just check it out for yourself. Be prepared for some laughs and some witches that are looking to eat some children for Halloween. Ooh. Okay, next up we have Hotel Transylvania. So Hotel Transylvania is obviously a more family-friendly animated film. It stars Adam Sandler as Dracula as he tries to keep his daughter, voiced by Selena Gomez, from venturing out into the world like she really, really wants. Next up is actually not a film. It is a TV show, and that is the Goosebumps TV show from the 90s. Of course, it is based on the book series by R.L. Stine. And is it scary? No. It's more over the top than anything, but it is a lot of fun. I think it's a great way to just put it on and have it playing in the background. For those of you that are late in decorating, it's a great background TV show to have playing to get you in that spooky spirit while you decorate your house before Halloween. Next up, we have Ghostbusters, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of comments for this option, but I don't mean the 80s Ghostbusters. Actually mean the 2016 reboot, which in my personal opinion was a lot funnier than the original. And I thought that not only did I think it was funnier, I thought the climax of the film was ultimately a lot more satisfying because I felt like in the original, they beat the ghost way too easily. And in this one, the ghost did put up a little bit more of a fight. So my personal opinion, yeah. That's, I know it's very controversial hot take, but I did the hate it received is unwarranted. Check it out for yourself. Don't make judgments if you haven't seen it. Next up is Casper. Casper was one of my favorite films. Growing up, I absolutely loved watching it. I watched it a lot. And yeah, I mean, Casper the friendly ghost. He's not scary, but it's cute and it has ghosts. It'll get you in the Halloween spirit. The next two films I'm recommending are The Addams Family and Addams Family Values. These are obviously the Addams Family from the 90s. Do not watch the animated Addams Family film that came out last year, I believe. That was not very good. So I'm specifically talking about the two movies that came out in the 90s with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston and Christina Ricci. I mean, this family is just a lot of fun. They're creepy and they're spooky and they're altogether kooky. It's one of those films, the first one especially, that I guess you can say it doesn't really have a plot, but because it's the Addams Family, they're into a lot of creepy stuff, and it's just a way to get into the spirit and have a lot of fun doing it. Next up on the list is, all right, I do have one slasher film. Ignore what I said. It's just this one. And the one slasher film I have is Child's Play. There's a very particular reason why I have Child's Play on this list, and it's because as a 4-year-old kid, my favorite film was actually Child's Play 2, and I loved Chucky, and my older brother was like, no, I don't watch it, it's so scary, and I'd be like, yes, put it on, I want to see blood. And then I stopped being 4 years old and I stopped liking slasher films, but I still recommend this one because of the nostalgia, the very wrong nostalgia factor tied into it. Yeah. So let's go back to the more family-friendly options. So the next one on the list of Halloween films is Monsters, Inc. Now, Monsters, Inc. is not technically a Halloween film, but it has monsters, so I'm including it on the list. Of course, Monsters, Inc. follows Mike and Sully, who get their world thrown upside down when a human child crosses over into the monster world, and there's nothing more deadly to a monster than a human child. So they gotta do that. They gotta solve that problem. Next up on my list is The Mummy. This was the 90s film with Brendan Fraser in it. It stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and it's been a while since I watched that film, but it's just another one of those films that's a lot of fun. It's full of adventure and it is just fun. All right, so this next film, I guess you can say is technically a horror film, and it's scary. I mean, it did scare me, quite honestly, if I'm being honest, which is The Orphanage. Guillermo del Toro was involved. I don't think he directed it, but he was involved with like the concept. And this was one of those films that the twist ending haunted me for days, because it was just such a horrifying realization. Just watch it for yourself, because even thinking about it now, I get chills, because it's something. It's something. Next up is a classic. I am, of course, talking about Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It's Psycho is just, I mean, it's a classic for a reason. And I mean, check it out. It's really good. And to complete this list, I recommend The Woman in Black. I haven't seen the original. I've only seen the one with Daniel Radcliffe. And just want to say, finish off this video by recommending The Woman in Black. So those are all my Halloween film recommendations. What film do you think I should watch? And let me know which one of the ones I listed is your favorite. Bye.